It's also from Dawg Pound Daily. It's kind of interesting. 4 best pairings on the Browns roster. And a little different than you might think. Number 4, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, the running backs. Number 3, Myles, Garrett, and Jadeveon Clowney, the defensive ends. Number 2, cornerbacks, Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome. And number 1, David Njoku and Harrison Bryant. Take us through your thoughts on these.
So we'll start with the number 1 because I thought that was the most interesting one to me, and I didn't know how this was structured. I did not read this yet. I didn't know how whoever wrote this structured it. But I will say that intrigues me a lot because Njoku is now the lead tight end in the room. Harrison Bryant will now slide to number 2, where it was Njoku was 2 and Bryant was 3. Harrison Bryant has done tremendously well in his first couple of seasons in the league. He has had trouble with some fumbles, so we will see if he can get that corrected, which I think he will if he's putting in the work. David Njoku looks like $1 million still. And now he gets an opportunity to shine as a number 1. He showed spurts of being a number 1 at different points, even with Austin Hooper on the roster. So I think that's very interesting dynamic that can play out. And I think both are in for big years. I think, Njoku can flirt with anything 800 or above yards and hopefully double-digit touchdowns. And I think Bryant is going to be a sneaky guy in the red zone because him and Njoku are both tall and both big targets for either Watson or Brissett or anyone else that could be in there. The pairing of Garrett and Clowney, that last year we saw 25 sacks between the two. Clowney liked playing alongside Garrett. Garrett liked playing alongside Clowney. He recruited him several times from the time the season ended to the time that he did sign. The cornerbacks, I'm real excited to see what they do. I'm real excited to see what Newsome does in the slot if he's going to be there more so this year. I'm excited to see what Greedy Williams does this year too, because I think this is going to be a big year for him. And we've talked about it on here. I don't know if he necessarily comes back. I think he might outplay what the Browns are going to be willing to offer him next year. Hopefully not. Hopefully he has a tremendous season and he's able to stay with us long term. But that's very interesting. I'm excited to see that trio, not just the pairing, but that trio of players. So yeah, and then the running backs, of course, the 1-2 punch, the best 1-2 punch in the NFL. I don't think that's very debatable. When healthy and they're both on the field, there's not really anyone stopping them. Even if you stack 8 in the box, Nick Chubb seems to get better the more people that are in the box. So yeah, all interesting. But I really love that tight end pairing of Njoku and Bryant, seeing how they will do this year.
Yeah, young guys that could be ascending.